everybody, and welcome to the fourth race of the NRX's MEIJER Cup. We are now heading closer to the home stretch to finishing this cup, as we are now past the halfway point. And today we are in Rothbury, Michigan to race at the Winston Speedway for a little bit of dirt racing here tonight, as we're going to have a great race in store. So, yep, welcome everybody. This is going to be our first of the 2 3/8 mile tracks in the MEIJER campaign here in Michigan. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the Sapphire Heat Race to begin the night. On the pole, as wildly enough, is actually last week's winner, Nathan Stapleton, who won the Detroit Belle Isle race, finishing 10th in his heat race. Barely managed to make it in, but managed to finish it off, winning the race through fuel mileage. And, yep, managed to stretch out the fuel just enough. He actually ran out of fuel on the cooldown lap, so he had to go into his pit stall, had to get pushed into the pit stall to get his car refueled so he could burn it out. So, yep, keep your eye out on for the 55 today. Alongside him is number 88 of Ethan Boyd, wrecked out in the very first turn during his heat race last week, being the first driver to DNF in the NRX after Avery Alford kind of pushed him up into the one car, thus causing him to wreck out. Hopefully he'll redeem himself today by making it in to the Winston final event. Starting in row 2, we actually have the 55's teammate Christopher Gomez, who won the Michigan race. But ever since that Michigan victory, he has not made a single final event appearance. So hopefully this time around, things will change and he will make it into the final event. Another driver that really needs a final event appearance tonight is Patrick Miller in the 19, currently last in points after finishing dead last in the Michigan race and failed to make both the Berlin final event and the Belle Isle final event. So hopefully, since he's starting inside that top 5 today, hopefully things will change. Then behind them, we got Avery Alford in the number 52, the winner of the Sapphire Heat Race at Belle Isle, even though it was a little controversial since he kind of pushed Ethan Boyd up and caused him to crash. Hopefully this time around, things are going to be different. Then we got Laya Toledo in the number 31. Logan Kuehl in the number 69, and Tate Hughes in the number 78. B. Ruiz manages to score their first top 10 last week at Belle Isle, making the final event. And Christopher Chagoy in the number 12 also made the final event last week. Ian Perez in number 77 has yet to make a final event appearance. Hopefully this week things will change. And alongside him, Roberto Crown Jr., who was the runner-up last week at Belle Isle. Then we got Christian Vargas in the number 10. David Dawn in the number 5. Bryce Egan, who really had a huge points hit last week after not making the final event at Belle Isle, falling from 2nd to 7th in points. And Anakin Skywalker in the number 44, who's going to have a little bit more of a challenge here to make that final event. And then rounding out the field is Luke Breitzkopf in number 8, finishing first in their Sapphire Division at Berlin. And Joshua Harrison rounding out the field. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get these cars fired up. Drivers, start your engines.
Drivers, to your cars.
Yes, they're already in their cars. All right. Yep, as the pace car is going to have to sort of move out of the way there. But like I mentioned already, keep your eyes out for those two. The 55 and the 15 are definitely two drivers to keep an eye on, because they both are winners. So keep your eyes out on those two. But anything could happen. And the green flag is out, and the Sapphire Heat Race is underway at the Winston Speedway. As already the 55 of Stapleton already has a huge charge off for the lead, as he leads the first lap of the heat race. And meanwhile, the 15 of Christopher Gomez looking on the inside for second. And he's going to make the pass on Ethan Boyd. Right now, the driver on the cutoff is Logan Kuehl in the 69. Is Patrick Miller, just like Berlin, is falling back significantly. He's got to get in that low lane and able to make anything happen. As Bieber Ruiz passes him for 6th. As right now, the 55 and the 15, 1 and 2. Right now, especially right now with Nathan Stapleton being the points leader, if he can win this heat race, that's going to be huge for him. Now give him a really big points lead ahead of Blake Jefferson. As Avery Alford, the Sapphire Heat winner from Belle Isle, falls into 3rd. Ethan Boyd in 1st, and now we got a pass for 5th. Christian Vargas passes Ian Perez for the 5th position. Vargas made it into the final event of Belle Isle last week. Ian Perez has yet to make a final event. And Nathan Stapleton continues to lead them around, 0.065 seconds ahead of Christopher Gomez for 2nd. Right now, it is still Stapleton, Gomez, Alford, Boyd, and Vargas, your top 5 drivers that will be advancing to the final event. So we got a little bit more of a battle in the back right here. But yep, the 55 of Stapleton continues to gain on his teammate. Not only is this going to help out the 55 car, but the 15 of Christopher Gomez, who is really far back in the points right now. This will help him out too if he makes this final event. But I think the bigger picture right now is Nathan Stapleton, points leader right now. If he wins this event and gets those 50 bonus points, he's going to have a huge advantage heading in to the final race at Kalamazoo next weekend. And even more of an advantage if Blake Jefferson doesn't make the final event in the Emerald Heat race. As we're approaching 10 laps to go. As the top 5 have sort of spread out themselves a little bit, but it is all Stapleton right now. We have less than 10 laps to go. This time by, it's going to be 8 laps to go for Stapleton. It's still Stapleton, Gomez, Alford, Boyd, and Vargas as your top 10 drivers. Stapleton going to be hopefully going to be making his 4th consecutive final event appearance. Actually, 3rd event. So 3rd consecutive final event appearance. Gomez making his 2nd appearance. Alford making his 2nd appearance. Boyd making his 2nd appearance after failing to make the final event at Belle Isle. And Vargas. So right now, if everything were going right as it is right now, Nathan Stapleton will be the only Sapphire Division driver to make every single final event in the heat races. So 5 laps to go. The only other driver I can really think of is Anakin Skywalker, and he is all the way back in 16th, so he's probably not going to be making this final event. 3 laps to go. This time by for Stapleton. Over a second lead ahead of Christopher Gomez as they head to 2 laps to go. And here he comes. White flag out. This time by for Stapleton. The 55 team got a huge lucky break after winning it out via fuel mileage at Belle Isle. But tonight, Stapleton's going to continue that hot streak as he wins the Sapphire Heat Race at Winston Speedway. And with that, Stapleton, Gomez, Alford, Ethan Boyd, and Christian Vargas are the 5 drivers to make the final event. 4 of them will be making their second final event appearance. Or actually, yeah, so Gomez making his first final event appearance. Whoa, what's going on there? But, yeah, technically that doesn't matter. No backup cars required. So, yep. But Gomez making his first final event appearance, and Alford, Boyd, and Vargas will be making their second. So congratulations to the 55 car of Nathan Stapleton. After winning last week at Belle Isle, he's going to have an even bigger hot streak heading into tonight as he wins the Sapphire Heat Race and will start on the front row for the final event at Winston Speedway. So with that being said, we'll be right back for the Emerald Heat Race. Hello everybody and welcome back to Winston Speedway as we are now about to begin the Emerald Heat Race for race number 4 of the NRX's MEIJER Cup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup. On the pole tonight is going to be for the Emerald Heat Race, Jonah Scruton. After starting on the pole for the Michigan Heat Race, hopefully tonight he will change his luck as he has yet to make a final event appearance. Hopefully tonight that will change. Then moving on to the second place driver, we have Jordan Vance in the 4 after making his very first final event appearance last week at Belle Isle. And he's hoping to keep that hot streak going. Same thing with the drivers in row 2, Derek McDougall, after not making the final event at Berlin after wrecking out, made the final event at Belle Isle. And Noah Cars, number 92 car, also hoping to make his second final event appearance here tonight. John Hernandez, after dominating the first half of the Belle Isle race and winning the Emerald Heat Race, ultimately would wreck out due to a track bug. Hopefully tonight things will change for him and he will make it into the final event to continue his streak, as he made both the Berlin and Belle Isle final event. Same with the driver also in row 3, Miguel Terra in the 14. Made the final event at Berlin and made the final event at Belle Isle. And then we got a couple of drivers that have yet to make a final event appearance, starting with Olivia Hammond in the 81, finished way back in the pack at Michigan and failed to make the Berlin and Belle Isle race. And then we have the number 26 of Wade Brosenne after winning the Berlin race, as did not make a final event appearance at Belle Isle. We got Joey Maddox, number 2, did not make the final event last week at Belle Isle. Hopefully that will change this week. And Alex Byron, the 17, who did make the final event at Belle Isle. The 43, who started on the outside of the Michigan race of Jake Andrews, did not make the final event at Berlin, and I don't think he made the final event at Belle Isle either. And then T.R. Sane, who made the final event last week at Belle Isle. Maxwell Fye, another driver that has yet to make a final event appearance in the heat races, did not make the final event at Berlin after wrecking out, along with Derek McDougall in that same crash, and then finishing dead last in the Emerald Heat Race at Belle Isle. And Eli Carr is coming off of a hot streak after finishing 5th, finishing in the top 5, finishing 4th at Belle Isle. He's starting a little bit farther back today, so that might be a little bit of a challenge. Dalton Fletcher, who managed to get his first ever top 10 finish, making it to the final event at Belle Isle, did not make it at Berlin and wrecked out early at Michigan. And then Leon Shifter on the 62, who did not make the final event. Still another driver that has yet to make a final event appearance. And then, pretty big shocker starting in the last row, Blake Jefferson, second in points right now. He's got a lot of ground to cover if he wants to keep that hope of winning this cup alive. And alongside him and starting in the last row is Noah Busick in the number 22. another driver that has yet to make a final event appearance. So here we go. The Emerald Heat Race is about to begin. Drivers, start your engines. Yep, so like I mentioned, drivers to watch out for today. I think the two biggest drivers to keep an eye out on tonight is going to be John Hernandez in the 91. Had a really good run at Belle Isle. But also, even though he's starting in the back row, keep an eye out for Blake Jefferson, because he's currently the only driver right now that can compete with Nathan Stapleton right now. So, unless the 9 gets eliminated, there might be a chance that Stapleton might be running home with this cup early. One race before the end. This green flag is out as Jonas Scruton, the 45, charges out to the front. And Derek McDougall, the 99, looks on the inside for second. John Hernandez also working his way up, passing Noah Kars for the 5th position. He's got to get down. Oh, almost slammed the door at Brosenne, but Brossenne's going to pass him. As John Hernandez now passes for the 3rd position. As Scruton gets out with the lead. So right now it is Scruton, McDougall, Hernandez, Vance, and Brosenne being the 5 drivers that will make the final event if they stay where they are now. As Brosenne passes Vance for the 5th position. And the outside look again, we got Hammond trying to see if they can make it in. Looking on the inside for Vance. The 81 has yet to make a final event appearance. That might change tonight. As Scruton already out there with over half a second lead ahead of the number 99 car. Oh, here comes Jake Andrews passing for 5th, or for 6th. Now the 43 is the last car outside look again. Trying to look on the inside for Hammond for the 5th position. That's a battle for the cutoff, and there goes the 43 for 5th. Side by side as they head down the backstretch, and the 43 is going to make the pass. And here comes Fletcher, and behind him is Blake Jefferson. Blake Jefferson is fighting for his chances of making it into a cup. If he doesn't win, if he doesn't make it into this final event, that's the equivalent of the cup slipping from his hands. He is not giving up this easily. As Dalton Fletcher now looks for the 5th position. But Blake Jefferson's trying to fight his way into that final spot. As Jonas Scruton now with a .82 second lead ahead of McDougall. But that doesn't matter. All that matters right now is that final position. Jefferson passes for the 6th position. Blake Jefferson's now on the cutoff line. He's got to pass Jake Andrews for that last position. But here comes Noah Busick in the 22. He's got 16 laps to go. He's got to make a move. He's looking on the inside for 5th. He's trying to look on the inside, but he just can't get there. Yeah, but the 9 car actually has a faster lap than the 43. He's trying to make a move. He just can't get underneath the 43 car. As the number 45 has nearly a second lead ahead. As the 9 is slowly losing speed. He just can't get around that 43. As Jonas Scruton leading with 10 to go. As Jake Andrews is pulling in faster laps than the 9 cars, he is pulling away with that 5th position. Nine to go for Scruton. As the 43 car gains once again for that 5th position. That time around, Blake Jefferson had a faster lap. As we're approaching 5 laps to go, Jonah Scruton, the 45 car, who led the very first lap of the NRX, is now leading them around in the Emerald Heat Race. With 4 laps to go. At this point right now, Jean Hernandez will end up becoming the only Emerald Heat driver to make every single final event appearance if this race continues. But if Blake Jefferson can somehow pass the 43 car in these last 2 laps, he'll be the other driver that made every single final event appearance. But right now, it is Scruton with 2 laps to go. Can he hold on to that lead and win the Emerald Heat Race to get some huge bonus points? White flag is out for the 45. And it looks like he's going to do it coming out of turn number 4. Jonah Scruton, the 45, is going to win the Winston Heat Race and make it into the final. We'll start the front row along with Derek McDougall, Jean Hernandez, Wade Brosenne, and Jake Andrews making it into the final events. A huge heartbreak for Blake Jefferson, who was so close to making it into the final events. And that might be the end of his Cup hopes. As Nathan Stapleton, the points leader, will make the final event. So, yep, that's going to be it for the heat races. And the lineup has been settled. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the results from the heat races. And then we will move on to the final event here at the Winston Speedway to determine tonight's official winner. As we take a look at the heat results, starting off with the Sapphire heat results, we got Nathan Stapleton scoring his first heat victory of the season. And everybody except Ethan Boyd having the faster laps, so they will all be starting on the inside except for the 88. And then as we take a look at the other drivers that failed to make the final event, with the biggest shocker being the 44 of Anakin Skywalker finishing 16th. Meaning at this point, Nathan Stapleton is the only Sapphire Division driver to make every single final event appearance this season. Moving on to the Emerald Heat results, we got Jonah Scruton scoring his first ever final event appearance after winning the heat, as well as the 43 Jake Andrews also making his first final event appearance. Wade Brosenne in number 26 will be starting on the inside of row 4, but everyone else will be starting on the outside. And with Blake Jefferson failing to make the final event, that means Jean Hernandez in the number 91 is going to be the only driver in the Emerald Heat division to make every single final event appearance. Yeah, even though the heat races weren't the most entertaining this week, we still have our final event to head to. So let's head trackside for the final event. And this is it, the final event tonight at the Winston Speedway. As we have 50 laps to determine the winner of the Winston race and who's going to be the big driver that will lead tonight as the King of Dirt. In Michigan, at least. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup. On the pole with the fastest lap out of the front row is Nathan Stapleton, hoping to be the first back-to-back winner and the first multi-time winner in the NRX. And that will hopefully give him a huge advantage heading to the Kalamazoo to hopefully walk away with the MEIJER Cup. Alongside him is the number 45, the Emerald Heat winner of Jonah Scruton. Started on the front row at Michigan, but is making his first ever final event appearance. Starting alongside in row 2, we got Christopher Gomez, the winner of the Michigan race and the 55's teammate. And alongside him is the number 99 of Derek McDougall, making his second final event appearance. Row 3, we've got Avery Alford, the Sapphire Heat winner at Belle Isle. And alongside him is John Hernandez, the Emerald Heat winner at Belle Isle. And also the only Emerald Heat driver to actually make every single final event appearance. Nathan Stapleton being the only Sapphire driver to make every final event appearance. Then we got Wade Brosenne, the 26, the Berlin winner, starting alongside Ethan Boyd in the 88. And rounding out the field, we got Christian Vargas in the 10 and Jake Andrews in the 43. Rounding out our 10-car final event field. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get these cars started up. Drivers, start your engines! Yep, as the cars are about to roll off here. A lot of things are important tonight because right now, Nathan Stapleton, the points leader, made it into the event. Blake Jefferson, the driver in second, did not make the final event. So if Stapleton can have a good run today, he might run away with the title. But we have 50 laps to determine the winner. As the green flag is out, we're underway here for the final event at Winston. As the 55 gets a great run on the backstretch as he will take the lead away as he leads the first lap. As Scruton falls back trying to hold behind Gomez. But Gomez is still looking. Waiting for that 45 car to slip up, and it looks like he might end up slipping up here. As Brosenne looks on the inside for fourth. But right now, Stapleton with a clear lead ahead. Behind him, Scruton manages to hold on second. Wade Brosenne charges up into third. As Gomez falls to fourth, and he might fall to fifth because Christian Vargas is right on his tail. A little bit of a bump, a little bit of contact right there heading into turn 1 and 2. As Avery Alford falls outside the top 10, then we got McDougall, Hernandez, Ethan Boyd, and Jake Andrews rounding out our 10-car field tonight. But right now, Stapleton, still with a really big lead ahead of the 45, continues to gain. Hoping to keep that points lead afloat. As everyone's sort of fallen into single file. We saw this same thing happen at Berlin, where these guys, they're just trying to get some points here. Right now, the 55 wanted to get himself a clean lead in the points. Start giving a little bit of a lead here, because he's going to get some easy points ahead of Blake Jefferson. So, regardless of what happens tonight, he's still going to be beating out Jefferson for the points. But everyone behind him, they need to get some well-needed points. Like Scruton, right now, only made the Michigan appearance. So he just wants to get some points to bump him up a little bit in the points battle. Wade Brosenne, after winning a race, same thing with Gomez, has yet to make a final event appearance ever since their victories. Just trying to get some easy points tonight. Same thing with Vargas, Alford, McDougall. And like I said, John Hernandez, the number 91, made every single final event appearance. Made it in at Berlin, made it at Belle Isle, and made it in tonight. Just trying to get some easy points, you know, just to keep himself up in that top 5. Maybe if things go good for him, maybe he might be giving the 55 car a little bit of a run for his money at Kalamazoo next week. But with the 55 car having a strong chance of getting 2 victories tonight, that might be a little bit of a shakeup. as he has well over a second of a lead ahead of the 45. As they are way spread out now. But one question that might come into consideration later in the event is pit stops. Which, they're still on the same tires that they had in their heat races. Which, on dirt, these tires don't really wear out as fast as they do on asphalt. But there might be a consideration that they might need to get refuel and need to get some fresher tires. But right now, it's all Stapleton, as Wade Brosenne is actually the fastest car on track right now, as he has the fastest lap with a 12.551 over Jake Andrews, who has a 12.553 as his fastest lap. As we're almost halfway through the final event here, Nathan Stapleton with a clean lead ahead of the rest of the field. We're approaching 25 laps to go here at the Winston Speedway. As everyone is really spread out right now, just trying to get some easy points. Sort of give them a little bit of advantage heading into the final event at Kalamazoo, or the final race at Kalamazoo in the MEIJER Cup. But fortunately enough for a lot of the drivers that have yet to make a final event appearance, which there are a couple that really don't like the fact that they're not making many final event appearances and not getting many points, there is going to be a little bit of a silver lining heading into the second cup. There won't be as many heat races. We're going to be having 3 dash races. I'm not telling you what tracks, but we are guaranteed to have 3 dash races. So it's not just going to be 1 dash race. We're going to have 1 heat race and 1 XL heat race. But the rest is going to be dash races. So a lot of drivers, every driver is going to be getting way more points than they did in this cup. As this cup was more or less the survival of the fittest. Which in this case right now, the fittest is Nathan Stapleton, winning last week and in the lead this week. But right now, actually, that lap by, we actually saw Jean Hernandez have the second fastest lap of the night. A 12.543. But right now, Wade Brosenne still has the fastest lap on track with a 5.39. Stapleton with the second fast. Actually, they're tied for the fastest lap. 12.539. So Stapleton is gaining speed heading into these closing laps. As we're down to 15 laps to go here at Winston. Stapleton continues to lead. That time by, Scruton actually gained a little bit of a lead, gained a little bit on the leader right there, but he's got to do a lot more work. It's crunch time now if he wants to get a chance at winning this race. Yeah, as he continues to gain. Yeah, the 45 shaved off a little bit of a fraction of a second that lap. As the 55 once again gained that, but coming to 10 laps to go. Nathan Stapleton might be walking away with this victory. Not only this win, but he might be walking away with the MEIJER Cup in general. Because unless he has a major issue at Kalamazoo where he doesn't make the final event, this might be it. As yet, Stapleton with a great run on that lap continues to chip away from the pack. 9 laps to go. as everyone is way spread out, just trying to get some points. Because they're actually getting more points, because 26 other drivers aren't getting points tonight. So these guys are getting some easy points. So, but right now, Stapleton trying to pretty much confirm the MEIJER Cup. As next time by is 6 laps to go. Five laps to go. As a 45, he is trying very hard to close in on the 55, but he's just not going to have enough time to get there. As we're approaching 3 laps to go, Nathan Stapleton has had one heck of a cup. Was running up front at Michigan, made it into the final event at Berlin, managed by a miracle to make the final event at Belle Isle and win it on fuel mileage. And he's 2 laps away from getting back-to-back victories. Can he hold on? As he's approaching the white flag, this time by the 45 car, 1.1 seconds behind, but it's not going to matter now. As he's half a lap away from victory and out of turns 3 and 4. Nathan Stapleton's going to be the first multi-time winner and the first back-to-back winner as he wins at Winston Speedway. Only this time it wasn't about fuel mileage, it was just utter dominance tonight. Fastest lap, won the Sapphire Heat Race, Sapphire Heat Race, I was just thinking. Yes, he won the Sapphire. Whoa, the 99 flips over, but it's the end of the race, so it doesn't matter. But, yeah. Won the Sapphire Heat Race and won the main event here at the Winston Speedway. The first multi-time winner in the NRX. So, yep, unbelievable run here, and that might be it for the MEIJER Cup. That might be. So, yep, unless the 55 has a major issue at Kalamazoo, he might be walking away. What is the 99 doing? But he might be walking away with the MEIJER Cup here. Unless something is to happen at Kalamazoo, that might be it. So, yep, congratulations to Stapleton on his second victory of the NRX this season. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the results from tonight's event and the points heading into the final race at Kalamazoo. As we take a look at tonight's results here, Nathan Stapleton scoring his second victory of the season and the second win in a row. Jonas Scrudden, after winning the Emerald Heat race, finishes second. Wade Brosenne finishes third. Gomez fourth. Vargas fifth. Alford sixth. McDougall seventh. Hernandez eighth. Ethan Boyd ninth. And Andrews in 10th. Now looking at the points, Nathan Stapleton came into this race as the points leader and leaves as a bigger points leader, now 161 points ahead of second place, which is now Avery Alford. Blake Jefferson, who was second in points heading into this race, falls all the way back to 5th after failing to make the final event. Christopher Gomez proved that every race matters as he managed to jump from 26th to 11th in this race after making the final event. Same thing with Jonas Scrudden jumping from 30th to 13th in points after this race. Even though their chances of winning the MEIJER Cup are long gone, they're still proving that they have the potential to make moves when it matters. Besides, it could easily help them in future cups as well. Moving a little bit farther back, we actually have a tie for 22nd with David Dawn and Joey Maddox, and 27th with Bibi Ruiz and Dalton Fletcher. And then 29th and below is the drivers that have yet to make a final event appearance this season, with Maxwell Fye leading them off with 147 points. But fortunately for them, after next week's race at Kalamazoo, the points will reset for the second cup, and they'll have another chance at making it big. And with that being said, race number 4 is done. I apologize for the racing being a little bit bland because there is no public I&I file for this track, so I couldn't edit the racing. But, hey, at least you got to see our first multi-time winner this season. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton on his victory. And we'll see you all next week at Kalamazoo for the MEIJER Cup finale.